How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to our reaction to Season 2, Episode 2 of Star Trek, the original series, Who Mourns for Adonais. Last week's episode was really enjoyable. Like, I knew about that episode with Kirk. I knew about the fight between Kirk and Spock, so it's a pretty iconic episode. So this, obviously, I always say after a great episode, the next episode is going to be a tough act to follow. So hoping I enjoy it. Hopefully keeps the quality going, because as I said, the tail end in particular of Season 1 was really good, and first episode of season 2 was a really good way to start the new season, so hopefully more of the same. Just quickly before I get into the reaction, there'll be a full uncut reaction to this video. That'll be on my Patreon page. Link will be in the description. If you'd like to support the channel further and become a patron, there's different links with different tiers. That would be fantastic, guys. And just a quick shout out to my patrons, to Ravi, to Gigi Gooding, to Mary, to Blaze, and to Mihal. Thank you so much for the support, as always. Really appreciate it. But with that, we will watch season 2, episode 2, Who Mourns for Adonais.
A strange lack of intelligent life on the planet. It bucks the percentages.
What is the population?
Up all night working on this report, sir.
Well, in that case, there's nothing like a wee bit of coffee to get you back in shape. Join me, Carolyn?
All right, Scotty.
Could you get that excited over a cup of coffee?
Even from here, I can tell his pulse rate's up.
Sensors indicate no life forms. Approximate age 4 billion years. Judge, no reason for contact.
What in the name of?
It's like a hand. Like one of those foam fingers you get like at a basketball match or wrestling matches.
I am too.
How big is it compared to the Enterprise?
A trick then, a projection?
That's what I was thinking.
A field of energy.
It's almost as if it means to grab us.
Reverse all engines. All engines, reverse.
Helm doesn't answer. We can't move.
Maybe it's an illusion or something like that. Like its true form they haven't been able to identify. And it's bigger than the Enterprise, or around the same size as it anyway.
Sickbay reports 5 minor injuries, all being treated.
Thank you.
Well, that's at least something positive. It wasn't any severe damage.
Resembles a conventional force field, but on unusual wavelengths. Despite its appearance, that of a human appendage, it is energy.
Thank you.
Oh, now we have a face. Was it his hand?
Now you can rest.
This is Captain James T. Kirk, commanding the USS Enterprise. Please.
We shall drink the sacramental wine. There shall be the music of the pipes. 5,000 years. Have you learned no patience in that time?
Never mind the history lesson. Release the ship.
You will obey.
He is the history lesson.
We can't handle it.
All right, whatever you're doing, turn it off. You win.
Bitter pill for Kirk to swallow. Utter the words, "You win."
I invite you and your officers to join me.
You invite
Do
or
not
you
bring
demand?
that one. The one with the pointed ears.
Ooh. Bit of racism going on here.
He is much like Pan.
Voice? Sure it's wise, Jim.
Well, if there's any
If
choice.
we don't accept his invitation, we'll have a crushed eggshell where the ship used to be.
Once I stretched out my hand, and earth trembled, and I breathed upon it. Your fathers knew me.
So are you like an
Your
omnipresent or
fathers'
something?
fathers. I
Calls them
Apollo.
children.
Haven't yet. Readings, Doctor.
Simple humanoid, Captain.
Evidently not so simple.
Mother of the most beautiful of women in the universe. That at least has not changed.
Oh, Scotty's gonna be jealous.
Please.
Transporter room.
The transportation device no longer functions.
What is it you want?
Worship me, as your fathers did before you.
Could they worship you from afar on the ship, maybe? Like,
But you're no god to us, mister.
I said you would worship me,
And you've got a lot to learn.
and so have you.
shit.
Captain Kirk.
Okay, Kirk, you gotta be careful here. This reminds you of like Jason and the Argonauts a bit.
Coin a phrase. Fascinating.
I'd say more terrifying bones, to be honest.
Apollo, a twin brother of Artemis, son of the god Zeus, and Leto, a mortal, the god of light and purity. He was skilled in the bow and the lyre.
Poetry and things like that.
This mean a thing.
Whatever he is, sir, he seems to control a remarkable technology.
Power is what he controls.
What if he is really Apollo? Why?
He's obviously some sort of being that is of great talents and power.
Pride and arrogance. They defied me until they felt my wrath.
Carolyn. Yes. You are beautiful.
You will know what it is to be a goddess.
Leave her alone.
You protest, you risk much.
And so do you.
Scott, are you actually going to kill him for that? Like, he was just talking to her.
Learn the discipline of the temple. So shall you all. Come.
It's all right, Captain. I'll go.
Without fear.
I'm tingling all over. Did he take her with him? Captain, we've got to stop him. He wants her the way he looked at her.
Mr. Scott, I understand your concern over her, but you volunteered to go with him. We've got to find out the source of his power. You've got a tricorder. Use it if you're able to.
Aye, aye, sir.
You're dead right, Kirk.
Besides, you stiff-necked thistlehead, you could have gotten yourself killed. Yes. To the simple shepherds and tribesmen of early Greece, creatures like that would have been gods.
Especially if they had the power to alter their form at will and command great energy.
Seems to be a radiated energy pulsation coming from the planet. I don't know what it is, sir.
Origin?
I can't seem to pinpoint it.
I would suggest, Mr. Sulu, that if you cannot find out where the power source is, you should find out where it is not. A simple process of elimination.
Spock is thorough.
But you said the others didn't die.
Even for a god, there's a point of no return. I knew you would come to the stars one day. Of all the gods I knew, and I waited for you to come.
There is a repeated occurrence of registrations, a regular pulsating pattern of radiated energy.
Well, we're just having difficulty focusing on it.
Apollo has no difficulty focusing. He taps that energy, Mr. Scott.
So what's like a
Some
surge of
creatures
energy that you
control
can
energy with no harm to
duplicate?
themselves.
Apollo taps a flow of energy and channels it through his body?
That would seem most likely, sir.
There's an extra organ in his chest that I can't even make a guess about.
Bones, is it possible?
Jim.
Lieutenant Palamas.
He is no longer of any concern to you.
You bloodthirsty Saracen, what have you done with it?
You want us to bow down?
Kirk, what are you doing? Dropping like flies.
You will learn discipline. You will learn.
Oh, fix.
Apollo looked very strange when he disappeared. Tired or in pain. I don't know if it means anything.
That might very well mean something.
But the energy was draining or something.
I can't get my arm to move.
Some neural damage.
Friend Apollo did indeed visit Earth and form the basis of the Greek classic myths.
Good. You think maybe he's off somewhere recharging his energy cells?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I'm connecting the bypass circuit now, sir. Another half hour.
Speed is essential, Lieutenant.
Mr. Spock, I haven't done anything like this in...
I can think of no one better equipped to handle it, Miss Uhura. Please proceed.
No pressure to Uhura.
We've come a long way in 5,000 years.
And you're still of the same nature. Can give life or death. What else does mankind demand of its gods?
Mankind has no need for gods. One quite adequate.
We shall not debate, mortal. I said approach me.
We're busy. Look after the girl. We're tired of your phony fireworks.
Mortal, you have earned this.
You don't!
Lieutenant.
Yeah, it's kind of going against what he was trying to do.
shall be lenient with you. For her sake. You will dismantle your ship for the supplies you need. And I'll crush its empty hull.
Yeah, I don't think Kirk is going to stand by and let that happen.
Stepped in and saved us.
Got any more good ideas, Jim?
Yes, I have. One more, and it depends on the lieutenant's loyalty.
I love you for time without end. Worlds without end.
If he's relying on this energy source, like, can he guarantee he can maintain that?
What's happened to her? Scotty, I'll find out. Well?
He wants us to live in peace. He wants to provide for us.
He thrives on love, worship, attention.
Yes? What?
Spurn him. Reject him.
Yes. I love him.
Scotty's heart breaks in two.
All our lives here and on the ship depend on you. Reject him and we have a chance to save ourselves. Accept him and you condemn all of us to slavery. Nothing.
He's calling me.
Lieutenant, you have your orders.
But it's interesting he talks about kind of slavery, and it's like this kind of vanity almost. That he wants to be just global. He wants to be like worshipped and loved and all this attention and adulation. Would he pick up on this now that they're making communication?
Is there a structure of some sort near you?
The power emanates from there.
Very good. How are you doing on the force field?
We can negate sections of it.
If that structure is the source of his power, I want to know where he is when we attack it.
Your evolutionary patterns and your social development.
Apollo, I've chosen you.
Well, I'm sure that's very flattering, but I must get on with my work now.
The devil is that?
All right. The temple is his power source. Let's bring him back to it. Get out.
Fluctuating is losing the battle. The pretense comes to an end.
I would have loved you as a father loves his children.
We've outgrown you. You asked for something we can no longer give.
I loved you. I would have made a goddess of you. Hermes, Hera, Aphrodite. You were right. The time has passed.
I wonder, do the crew, any of the crew actually practice religion or have a belief in a god? Because he would say this day and age.
Wish we hadn't had to do this.
So they gave us so much.
Much belief, especially from young
Greek
people.
civilization.
Not so much in America, as far as I know,
philosophy
but in Europe, definitely it has
worship.
dwindled.
Would it have hurt us, I wonder, just to have gathered a few laurel leaves?
Okay, that was Who Mourns for Adonais, and I think there was like definitely interesting aspects to the episode, especially kind of when it kind of hints at this there's no more use for God. I think he mentions it at the end, and it's like, as I was saying just at the end of the episode, the reaction that like, especially in Europe, like the people's belief in God has definitely gone down. It's not as strong as it once was, and it's like, you know, the thing of like being obsolete. It's weird in a weird way. You just a part of you just kind of feel a little sorry for him. And Bones even says to Kirk about, "I wish we didn't have to do this." That whole component was interesting, and also the fact that like using the kind of Greek gods as these kind of like alien beings was a nice kind of way to bring them in. That was interesting, and also the fact I was just thinking about it now when they had the hand on the ship, It was almost like the intent was to hold it for eternity. And that's one thing I always feared as a child growing up. I was always told that like heaven was this thing that's eternal, like it goes on forever. And because I found it so hard to grasp that idea, to this day it still scares me. Just this concept of things go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I think because we know that we're not eternal, that concept is difficult to process and digest almost. So it was interesting actually just thinking about that. That came into my head just thinking as I finished about the hand holding the ship. It reminded me a little bit as well of Little Tin God, the episode of Highlander. So due to the fact that they're immortals and they come back from the dead, and this is one immortal that kind of used that to bring followers in to believe that he actually was a god. I know it was done in a different way, but I kind of was reminded of that episode of Highlander as well. One of the things I didn't like though, I thought Scotty was kind of got annoying. I think he was a bit over the top. I don't think the actor who plays Scotty is as good an actor as like of Shatner and Nimoy and I forget his name, but the actor who plays Bones. So he did get a little annoying in the episode, but I thought it was a decent episode. I liked the settings as well as always on the planets. Not as good as last week's episode, but I thought it was still engaging enough. There was some interesting ideas to make it a worthwhile watch. But guys, let me know in the reaction your thoughts on Who Mourns for Adonais. Who would rank among your favourite episodes in Star Trek, and what were your overall thoughts on it? Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. But until next time, guys, Slongfold.